And we are live. We are here. Bubblegum, hi.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
No complaints. No complaints. We're gonna just get this thing started. Those they're gonna fill in here slowly
Hmm.
but surely, but let's take our time with it right now.
That's fine.
Um Hi everybody. I want to say thank you guys for coming, showing up. This is Ask the Q Speak Your Truth. I'm your boy, Burdenofproof. Once again, another Wednesday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate you guys coming through and showing love and support for the show. Shout out to my peoples, Lux Vision Studios, CJ and Miss M5 Divine, for always making me look professional within this Horizon World space. Before I get to my guest, I first want to say thank you to my guy Meta Coach for last week and the contribution that he gave in regards to our discussion with men's mental health. That really meant a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Like I said before, men's mental health is something that take very seriously. As you can see, I'm a man myself, um, and we often don't want to hold ourselves accountable in regard to the type of problems and traumas that we deal with. And that's I noticed even in growing up, that's something that's very hard for us to do as men. So to be vulnerable in that type of space and just get better understanding from Meta Coach and a lot of the other people that were within attendance, I appreciate that. It was very, very informative, and I learned a lot from a lot of different perspectives. Amber and Lovely E also came down and gave their perspectives in regards to men's mental health as well. And funny thing is, there were more women within the space than there were men. So I can't. What's the saying? You can lead them to water, but you can't get them to drown. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. Okay, you can't. I'm not going to drown nobody. You can't get them to drink. All right. So there's nothing ever that I'm going to force. Like I said before, I don't send out invites or anything like that. If you want to be here, you want to be here. Point blank and period. If the material and the content is something that you feel that's worthwhile, then you're going to be here. Point blank, period. So um for that being said, I want to say thank you again for all those who came and shared love last week with men's mental health. So with that being said, we are here yet again on another Wednesday. A lot going on in the world. Before I get to the bitter parts, for those who like the WNBA and basketball, shout out to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, rookies who made the All Star team. I don't know, you follow that WNBA, man? Yeah,
A little bit. I was just
yeah,
watching it the
yeah.
other day.
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, they doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to those phenomenal athletes and doing their thing in the WNBA, and I guess gaining more notoriety for the WNBA because it's must see TV right now. Here comes the bitter part. I don't know who anybody saw the BET Awards? Anybody saw any of that? Anybody thought Sexy Red was snubbed by not getting best female artist? Well, awesome, awesome. Me neither. Nah, I think some people just have this perception that Sexy Red's music gets played outside of this country. Um, the young lady that won it, she's an international star. Her music is getting played in various countries and different continents and things like that. A lot of the stuff Sexy Red plays and doesn't get heard outside of the black community. I hate to say it. Hey, but it is what it is. If I'm calling a spade, we're gonna do it, right? Well, there it is. So yeah. Um, Shout out to Usher for getting a Lifetime Achievement Award as well, even though they cut out his whole daggone his whole speech. That ticked me off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Shout out to Killer Mike, very passionate MC for winning was it album of the year if I'm not mistaken. Yo, Killer Mike is a rapper's rapper, man. Like, yo, I like he even though he's from Atlanta, he represents so much. You know what I'm saying? In regards to being a man and standing on something and not budging. You know what I'm saying? For what you believe in and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that people as grown men try to aspire to, man, that man stands on each and every day. And he definitely represents Atlanta to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Killer Mike as well. Um, what else happened in here? Ah, mm, yeah, Trump. Yo, Trump is I hate to tell y'all, no disrespect to the man and nothing like that. Y'all gonna vote for who y'all gonna vote for. But yeah, Trump might win again. Uh, yeah. I hope we ready. I hope y'all prayed up, believe in whatever y'all believe in, because yo, it's coming. Uh, I don't know how, as a convicted felon, you're able to run for president, but I hope he give that loophole to everybody else that can't get a job right now, and help them out as well in regards to finding that loophole, so we can get some more jobs for a lot of these a lot of these felons that have served time and things to that nature. So I mean, in that regard, it's a big deal. But again, um, you're gonna vote for who you're gonna vote for, man. I have this discussion a lot with people in regards to voting and things like that. People go, our ancestors fought for us to vote and things like that. I'm like, yes, they did. But in my opinion, I don't think they fought that hard for us to have to vote for a lesser evil. And that's just my opinion in regards to the matter. Yes, it's definitely to do your due diligence and vote like that. But in regards to the manner in which we're voting, I don't think that's what they fought for. I'm of the assumption that they fought in order for us to have the right to vote, so we can create better change for who we are as people and a certain type of equality for us. I don't know how voting for either one of these parties enhances our equality within this country. Just speaking, you know what I'm saying? Everybody again is free and open to view it however they view it, but that's my view, personally. Before we dive into these beautiful young ladies here, and I hope my guy ain't still in that calling him a beautiful young lady. All right. With that being said, can I just say something real quick? When y'all send me invites to worlds and things like that, look at what I'm doing first. Like, look at my menu and see where I'm at first before you expect me to just pop into your world. You know what I'm saying? Just the second you hit me with the invite, I might be doing something. If you see me in Proof's place, I might be in Proof's place doing something. 9 times out of 10, if you see me in a world somewhere, I'm engaged in something. So I might not be able to get to your invite as soon as you send it. That don't mean might not step in and show love. It just means I'm occupied at the moment. That's all. So for those who send invites and get mad at me because that might take 5 or 10 minutes, well, I was already engaged in something before you sent the invite. So please, like, have that courtesy sometimes before you guys just, you know what I'm saying, just get all irritated and stuff like that, thinking somebody don't want to support you. That's not true. But I got things I got popping too. I'm monetized too. Yo, for real. So we're gonna jump into the show and make this thing happen. For those who don't know, it is Disability Pride Month. Again, I don't know how these months were created or who divvied this up and nothing like that. But I'm learning as I go as well. Miss M5 Divine hit me and let me know that this was definitely Disability Pride Month. So that is something that we're going to definitely talk about today. And we're not just talking about disability in regards to physical disabilities and things like that. We're speaking in this of the realm of mental. Well, I don't even call it. I don't even want to call it a disability per se. I just want to say that it's the world calls it a disability. So okay, I'm inclined to call it a disability, but I don't even view it as a disability. But I mean, it's certain things that hinder certain people to act normally, if you will, quote unquote, if that's what you want to say. But yes, so we're gonna engage in that. We're gonna touch on ADHD, um, specific disabilities, and some of the most famous people within this world that fight with disabilities within this world, famous people within this country. Um, to my left, I have some very smart people that have a lot of information in regards to the topic. My first lovely, lovely guest is Miss Bubblegumplanet. Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
She's so soft spoken, so I got to get her to yell. um, yeah, if y'all don't know, Bubblegum has been in this Horizon thing since the word go. She's been involved in a lot that has transpired within Horizon World. I'm not gonna steal her thunder. I'm gonna let her go ahead and fact check all y'all now. Hi, Miss Bubblegum. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. Is this louder? Is this good?
I'm good. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
For those who don't know you, let them know who you are, ma'am.
Hi. My name is Bubblegum Planet. I came on headset in 2021. In 2022, I got picked up by VR and Review, and I've worked with them, and we've made the Mega Tasty world. We made all the Nope worlds under Jordan Peele. So that's Nope, Us, Get Out, and Jupiter's Claim. And just recently, we released Survivor, and that was definitely fun. But yeah.
For those who didn't hear the woman, she said she's been involved in some of the most prestigious bills within Horizon World. The one to date is Survivor. For all confetti for those who've been a Survivor. Uh uh this young lady has had a hand in orchestrating that. Do you would you care of elaborating on what exactly that you had? What did you contribute to it?
So pretty much everything that you see we had the opportunity to put our hands on. So anything from making meshes to textures to optimizing to doing QA, note taking. One of the things that I loved about working with VR interview is that Ashes to Ashes 2, who is the CEO, she kind of made sure that we were involved in every single part of the build to get experience. Being that we were such a small build team, um, her and the VP were like, "Yo, we got to learn everything." So whatever there need to be done, but mostly for Survivor meshes, textures, and mainly audio.
Awesome. Awesome.
Hmm.
And she said that she was involved with Nope. Y'all remember that movie Nope?
Well,
The
no,
whack
not no, I'm
movie?
sorry. I was under the Jordan Peele build. So there's more than just Nope. There's Us, Get Out, and Jupiter's Claim. So those are the three that I was heavily involved with. I had just started after Nope. So sorry for the
Uh,
clarification. Yeah.
oh, my bad.
No, I didn't mean it like
She
that.
on a higher level. My bad, my
No,
bad,
no,
my
no, no,
bad.
no. No, no, no. I make my sandwiches
Bubblegum.
just like everybody else. I'm nobody.
Ah, you're newly married, yes?
Yeah,
How are you enjoying that?
it's awesome.
Yeah,
Um, just the on a spiritual and just like a not even looking past the physical, it's I've never had a bond with somebody like that, so it's definitely been an amazing few months.
that is dope. So real quick, how do you balance the two with real life and what the demand is here in Horizon World?
Thankfully, he has a life outside of here too. He also teaches, produces, DJ. So he's just as busy as I am. So during the week we'll like, hey, what are we doing today? How much time are we spending together? Like when is our time? Because I want him to pursue his career as much as I want to pursue mine. So we just have to balance the time, and when we have time, we spend time together. Usually about an hour or
100%.
two a day. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't right at that. Awesome,
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Um, Red Worldwide. Is that you?
Oh, is her mic on?
Is he on?
Okay, it was.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't
Mm-mm.
hear you.
So I had the same glitch. If you Divine, if you add her to a party and then she turns her mic off and on, like that worked for me yesterday. I'm not sure how we'll get past it today, but
Well,
mhm,
we gonna let them figure that out.
okay.
Hold up. Where, is there anybody in here? Confetti. If are you anybody in here monetized? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, so I can't even ask this question. Fuchsia, hi. Yo, Fuchsia don't even know this, but she's supposed to be my guest on Forgotten Voices, but she don't never check her Instagram. But we ain't gonna go there right now. But we are gonna talk. So elaborating on Disability Pride Month, what is your overall like? How experienced are in the field of disabilities and things like that? What have you been doing in regards to that field?
So I did take a break over the last 2 years to complete my contracts with VR and Review and Meta, but before
Okay.
that, I was a special education teacher, and before that, I was a co-teacher. So I've gotten my master's in that, and
Mm.
I would work with kids that had disabilities that affected them academically.
Okay, so disabilities that affected them academically. Do you get you can you like elaborate on what
Hmm.
specific type of disabilities that may be?
So autism, um,
Mm.
opposition defiance disorder, good old ADHD, and
Right,
just
right.
everything in between because there are some disorders you wouldn't even think of that could affect the way that you learn in school, like something as simple as holding a pencil, you know,
Mm.
is something that can stop you from writing effectively, learning effectively all by itself, or just the way you process information.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, for those, I mean, I'm sure I have some very smart people in the audience. Just by definition, though, disability is a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses, or activities. So, with that being said, I don't like to view, I hate the word disability.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel it's something that, um, used as a crutch in certain instances. I think it's a word that limits people and things like that. But in viewing disabilities, there are a lot of people within a lot of famous people within this world
Mm-hmm.
who actually have thrived based on their quote unquote disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So is it really a disability?
It all depends on how you view yourself, to be honest. That's more of a personal thing because I really like how Kanye looks at disabilities.
Mm,
He's known to have said this is my superpower. And in some ways these things that we label disabilities can be used as a almost like a glitch, but it's really all about how you look at it. I mean, I will say this, disability and equity and being equitable go hand in hand. So
mm,
that's like, if, for example, if you have a broken leg, I wouldn't give you a band-aid, you know?
right,
Sometimes there are things that do limit us and what we can do both physically and mentally, and that's okay. We just have to learn how to adapt. Mankind was made to adapt. This is something going on, so we can find a reason, but that's not to say that we don't know how disabilities affect one another. So
right, right.
yeah,
So you always dealt with kids in regards to special ed and things like that.
yeah,
What well
not.
what drove you what drove you to that type of career? Like
Mhm.
what in your life that you in well maybe you have encountered on your own or something that you experienced this made you say, okay, I want to assist these type of kids because I think I
Mm.
can better serve them in doing so.
Of course. So I grew up with a learning disability. It affects my communication from time to time and the way that I perceive information, which it
Get
just takes.
out of here.
Let me tell you, when I tell you I was blessed to have just really good supportive teachers even throughout college that would just work with me hand in hand, that made me want to become a teacher. I remember my sixth grade, fifth grade, I think art teacher, Miss Torpy. She would
Mm,
work with me through art, like carving soap, just stuff like that to help me keep it stay preoccupied or understand stuff. And I had a geography teacher that would use like music and like just movement to help us learn. There's so many ways that you can learn that a lot of people don't realize. And I think that a disability is just a glitch. If you want to call it that, it's not. It's just a different way to perceive information. Now you can read articles on ADHD. They're starting to kind of pinpoint that or mesh that together with the whole hunter gatherer mentality and things like that mentality. So I think we just perceive different information, and we learn and we move in different ways, and we just have to learn how to use that as our strength, if that makes
Uh,
sense. Yeah.
right. Okay. So before I keep going, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, all I need you to do is come on the box right there and ask the question and knock yourself out. Um, because I got tons of them right now,
Mm-hmm.
especially in regards to that. Because Bubblegum Planet, you couldn't pay me $1 million to say that you had any type of disability, if you will, in regards to communicating, because you do it effortlessly right now.
Right.
But
This is a lucky day. I practiced. I practiced.
well, thank you. Well,
Yeah.
with that being said, hold on. Wicked, you got a question?
I actually do.
Hold on, wicked. The box over there, babe.
That.
Right over
Yeah.
there. Right over there. The box right there. Here we go.
Is this the box?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Jen Smash. Thank you. Thank you for letting me ask a question. Thank you, Bubblegum Planet, for sharing your experience. I
Mm-hmm.
am it just coincidentally, or maybe not a coincidence, depending on how you look at life. I'm a special needs parent.
Hey.
Mm.
I have an amazing son who's
Mm-hmm.
22
Mm-hmm.
and was diagnosed with autism due to a speech delay when he was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Is fairly high functioning.
Mm-hmm.
Is an amazing visual artist, amazing. And I'm going through the transition now of him, uh, leaving the world of being a special needs child and coming into the world of now being a special needs adult.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted, if you're able to share, I would love to hear your experience of your transition and what it meant for you from being a minor into an adult, as far as society recognizing you to be an adult.
My transition, it was weird. um, it was like after school, it was just like, okay, now it's time to go out and kind of find a job. Once again, I got really lucky because I'm the one of the youngest in my family, so I had a lot of guidance from my parents, from other friends that had a great network. So I was able to kind of like practice and kind of use them as a guinea pig for interviews for how things work in specific backgrounds or what's the word I'm looking for, jobs.
Hmm.
It took time, and even now I still kind of have my moments where I struggle, but um support is really needed and
Hmm.
understanding, because during this time he's going to have a lot of really peculiar like misunderstandings just because of the way that he thinks and what he might say. So just have patience with him and tell him to have patience with other people, and also boost his confidence whenever you can, because this is going to be an awkward transition because people don't take into consideration the delays or maybe the level, that they're at as far, as personality. But it
Hmm.
just kindness and positivity and guidance and lots and lots of practice.
Yeah, thank you for that. I have a wonderful, amazing family support. I know that's not always the case, but
Yeah.
I do. My family just loves and adores him. He's such an
Mm-hmm.
amazing human being, amazing spirit. I always describe him as uh, him him choosing me to be his mother. Like when he came to this
Aww.
earth, he chose me to be his mom.
So
Mm.
what
And
is he? Oh, sorry for
no,
interrupting.
go ahead.
Continue.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, what does he want to do as far as visual arts?
You know what? It's not so much a matter of him telling me. It's me as his mother recognizing within him
Mm-hmm.
what his talents are, what his, I guess, what I call to be his purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
He's very verbal, but he's not verbal enough to comprehend. Well, he
Mm-hmm.
understands the idea of being an adult and having a job.
Mm-hmm.
And when I ask him about how he feels about having a job, he says, I don't want a job. I'm thinking, okay, why don't you want a job? He says, I don't want responsibilities.
And
So that's really the gist of it, right? The
mhm,
idea of responsibility. But in my from my perspective, he doesn't quite have the comprehension of, okay, well, what the expectations are when you are an adult and how you are expected to, have a purpose, have a job,
mhm.
earn some level of money to survive. And
So
I'm to the point now where he's going to be with me permanently. He's not going to be able. He can't live independently. He's going to be
Mhm.
with me permanently, and I'm
that's
fine with
okay.
that. I
Mhm.
came to that term a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure, while that's the case, that I still support him in a way that I am. I want to be able to still help him find out who he is, his purpose, his meaning as
S-
well. I'm trying to
Yeah.
make space for that. So I'm always interested in talking to someone who's had to deal with that themselves.
Mhm. So um I would say in his case, did he have any type of transition training or any option to go to like a day school, adult school, or anything like that?
With his I guess his representative, it's like social services representative.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Mm-hmm.
something that has been brought up and discussed as an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity
Yeah.
or an option. I don't think going to a day school is going to benefit him because, from what I understand, it's just pretty much them kind of
Now,
going somewhere, not doing anything really challenging and that
mm,
type of thing. I want something challenging that that would help him as far as his journey towards who how he can be the best he can be, I guess.
I understand. So the reason why I asked that is two things. There are day schools or like trading schools, if you will, that will help them to assess money management, to figure out new trades.
Uh-huh.
But also, if that is not an option, you can also seek out like museums or art centers
Okay.
or things that he enjoys that have kind of like volunteer opportunities,
Okay.
because those are different
Mhm.
ways that he'll have to be social and interact, and that may help him feel a sense of like belonging. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't want those responsibilities, I totally
Right.
don't blame him. I get it. Mom's got it. He's good.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and share and being a voice
Mm,
that not many special needs adults have. And even as a special needs parent myself, it's always refreshing to hear someone who deals with it in their own way,
mhm.
and to hear about their journey with that. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for that.
You're welcome.
So I have a question for you real quick.
Hmm.
Because a lot of times as parents, okay, so in my profession as well, I deal with a lot of kids that have special needs and things like that, autism, ADHD, and things like that.
Hmm.
Sometimes the parents are out, they want to act like they're perfectly normal and they're not. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And to their own, I think to their own detriment.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a good thing for them to not point out the obvious, or I mean, does it help or does it hinder? How does that?
For So, as far as the classroom, I would super, super, super advise parents to listen to the teacher, especially the special education teacher. In order for like me to even come up to you as a parent and say, hey, little Billy might need some additional services, I've had to go through months of data tracking to be able to come to a conclusion. This means like in the classroom, it starts off as whole group lesson. So the teacher will teach the student. And then if the teacher's seeing, okay, something's wrong here, she'll do smaller groups. And then in those smaller groups, she'll do even smaller groups till it's one on one with just that student and her or him. And then from there, then they make a report for them to go to. In the county that I worked for, it was called CDM, which is like I forgot the acronym, but it's like a very intense studying from
Mm,
teacher to student, usually in a very small group. Once it gets there, then the special education teacher comes in, gets more data, you know, and tracks how they're doing in these intense like sessions.
Right.
Um, After that, literally we have to come up with, we have not come up with, that's a bad wording. We have to figure out exactly, okay, what's going on, where are they having difficulties, and then the ratio of that. And then for us to even like come to you as a parent, we just need so much information. So it's like from an academic perspective, if a teacher is taking their time, and trust me, these teachers are crazy busy to tell you, hey, there's a problem, we can't ignore this. Listen, I've seen kids that are struggling in class that can't understand basic math, that need, to just get a yes from a parent so that I can come in, or the special education teacher can come in and just tutor them and give them tools. Like special educators have the ability, with the school to go in and legally change that curriculum to say, like, okay, on things like tests, little Billy isn't good at thinking quickly, so we can provide him a calculator on state tests. These state tests also dictate, the things that your school will receive. If those state tests that they take are bad, then you might lose a program, you might lose funding, you might lose some, like, so it's like, it's, take your kids' education seriously. If you don't want them to be in a sped light program, if you want to deny that, I understand there's a stigma. Don't worry about the stigma though, because we're literally there to help them. But at least take them home and study with them. Go over what they're doing. Become interested in what they're doing. But did I answer the question?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And listening to you, especially in regards to the things that you went through in regards to this certain stick
Mhm.
disabilities, quote
Yeah.
unquote, that you've had growing up, you had a lot of help within the
Mhm.
school system, and a lot of people
Yeah.
that went above and beyond
Yeah.
to
And mind you,
assist you.
they caught mine. I was caught up pretty early, so I just needed resource classes, which is like the small group instruction from a specialized teacher. That's all
Mm.
I need. I didn't need, there's no such thing as the short bus. There's no such thing as being in, I mean, you can get put in a smaller classroom, but that's beyond the point. It's literally the education system, when done well, helps you before something becomes even bigger than it needs to be. Um,
Well,
so
that leads
just
to the question I was going to ask you.
hmm
Um, what do you say to those parents that don't have those outlets of people or
hmm
teachers that are going above and beyond? Like,
hmm
where do they seek help and things like that to assist them in these matters?
there are different you would have to Google it and look on your computer, but there are different kind of like study centers you can bring them to. Make sure you're checking their book bag every day. Most teachers on Mondays or Fridays will put in a folder that has their work. Ask them for the homework. Ask the teacher for a copy of homework. If they don't give it to you, they have to show that they're doing something. You can go to the principal. But if you want any help outside of the school system, there's a Kuman Center. I think it's called Kuman. I think another one is Sylvan Center. You can bring them to places like that. You can also get them outside help from a mental health advocate, or even a student or a child advocate. There's so many options out there. I just don't think it's really brought to parents. Like, I don't think parents understand the power that they have in the school system, because as a teacher, not even I can go into the board of ed and be heard the way I want to, but 50 parents together can do a lot. So it's
Mm,
you can,
100%.
there's resources out there. And I'd be happy to put up any information to whatever you're using to kind of help.
Definitely. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Well, thank you, ma'am. I
Uh-huh.
appreciate you for coming through and spreading that knowledge for us.
hmm
Um, we're gonna take a commercial break real quick, but when we come back, we're gonna have a doctor come up here. And for those who
hmm
don't know, this doctor happens to be Miss M5 Divine's mom. So I've been holding that all day. And I can't wait for this young lady to come up here and give her insight in regards to disability and what we're doing with Disability Pride Month. We will be back right after this. This is Ask the Q, Speak Your Truth.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Teray,
CJ Shotlow. It's your boy Westside.
and you chilling with the Breaking Bread podcast. Hey, tune in and check us out every Saturday for some good talk.
You already know.
Good
The real
conversation.
sauce. You hear me?
Yeah, tune in.
Breaking bread.
Awesome. God bless everybody. I'm so glad, amen, that everything is finding you well, and I pray it's finding you well. This is Pastor Johnny live from our sanctuary here in the Metaverse at Word of Grace Meta Church. I want to invite you out to our service here on Sunday nights for worship and the Word, now streaming through Lux Vision Studios. So excited about that and what God is doing in this space and place. See you Sunday. God bless you.
Yo, what's good? What's good? It's your boy HG. I was 702. Let's get tripping like a kid, untie his shoes. And you see the vibe and you see the move. Where I'm at, that's the Howard Hour Live to be exact. And you can catch me live on Lux Vision Studios to be exact. So make sure you tune in every Friday night, 11 Central, 12 Eastern, and 9 Pacific. And you know, everybody's a somebody. Catch me live on Lux Vision Studio. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? It's MetaClean, and listen, please join me every Tuesday at 10 p.m. for Meta Talks Live. And the awesome thing is, you don't have to leave your house to do it. Meta Talks Live, coming back soon.
The school system, and now it's about getting him into the adult system in the transition.
We on, CJ?
System. So, yeah.
Okay, we live. We are back. Again, I'm your boy Burdenofproof. This is Ask the Q, Speak Your Truth. I want to say real quick again, thank you for Bubblegumplanet for coming up here and sharing her wisdom in regards to special ed, special needs, and things to that nature. Hopefully, parents got some insight and some resources that they can utilize to better serve them and allowing their kids to grow in a nature that's easy going for them and natural, because everybody deserves to be normal. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what type of situation that they're dealing with or whatever. So again, I want to say thank you, ma'am. I greatly appreciate it. And we're here with Miss M5 Divine's mom. Hi, ma'am.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. I tell you, it's been an amazing
Make sure
day.
you
Okay, before we even start, hold on. Let me just get to the nitty gritty. You know how much you messed up. It made me switch my whole thing today.
I am so sorry.
Huh? You know how
I
much you
am
made
so
me switch
sorry.
up this whole thing today? You know how throwed off I was? No, it's not. We are just fine. Look at. Ain't nobody doing nothing to your mom. Sit down. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Patience. Look,
Rose.
Dr. Patience Rose. I didn't want to mess it up, and I wanted to make sure I got it right. I'm not getting smacked out here. I got everybody, every family member
You're
in here. I'm not
fine.
getting smacked today. Dr. Patience Rose. Hello, ma'am.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm doing well. I want to say thank you for coming through, and I appreciate it. Um,
Thank you for having me. I'm so
Somebody
excited to
didn't
be
give you the
here.
right time, but it's okay. No, it's fine. I'm just playing.
All right.
I got you, Divine. I got you. So we are here to talk about this. First of all, we're highlighting Disability Pride Month, as you know.
Yes.
Before we start, do you care to give the people a little background about who you are and how deeply rooted you are in regards to this specific topic?
Well, you know what? Thank you for even giving me the opportunity to do that, because I think having some context will really help us as we are journeying through this conversation. And I just really appreciate all the people that are here to be a part of the conversation. I know it is Disability Pride Month, or that's the politically correct version of this month, but I call it Abilities Awareness Month, because it's so important for us to understand that people who learn differently differently, people who process differently, give something to the world that we cannot get from anyone else.
Mm.
And so it's such a powerful tool in the hands of the right person, when we are able to stop for a moment and just to see things from the perspective of someone else.
Yes.
And but to share a little bit about my background, I am a person who has all of her life been very interested in learning differences. I started teaching school when I was in the 8th grade. I taught preschool when I had a little work permit. And this was before, I'm dating myself now. This is before there was a requirement that someone was a certain age in order for them to teach preschool. But that was my first job. And in the afternoons,
Wow.
I would teach the afternoon class. And I noticed that children who learned differently were shunned, and they were taught, to be together, grouped, in a corner, or to not necessarily be in a position where they could be celebrated for anything in particular. And I wanted to do something different for them, even at that age. But I went on, of course, I was in high school and college at the same time when I really started thinking about, what my life would look like and how I could serve humanity. I know that there were a lot of people that could have taught school and just taught regular education. And for me, I believed I had a gift, and there were not very many people who had the ability to do what I did at that time. And so I did get my degree in music first because I wanted to do music therapy with children who had the ability to see things differently. And that was one of the ways that, I wanted to serve. And I immediately, even though I was still teaching at that time, I immediately went back to school to get a master's degree in special education.
Mm.
And I concentrated more on learning disabilities than I did on severe handicaps. And that's what we used to call them back then. And I talk about this a lot when I'm speaking and explaining to people uh, how antiquated we were in our ideas of, speaking about learning differences. Just the names that we gave things were just really off burden, to
Mhm.
say that someone was mentally retarded, it just
Yes.
that, I mean, it really now, it does something when I think about, how horrible, it must be to be someone who learns differently and have someone give a label, to you, or put a label on you that has such a negative connotation. And so, but yeah, so I went to school and I have a few receipts. I did,
A few
work.
receipts.
Yeah, that's what I call them. A few receipts. I know Bubblegum can hear me back there in the back about those receipts, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I taught school for so many years. I mean, over 25 years I taught. I taught special education. I actually opened up a few non-public schools for children who learn differently. I opened up a few for some other colleagues of mine, and then of course I had one that I opened up for myself. And
Okay, before you keep going, I just have a question. What happened in your life that triggered you to say, "This is my passion. This is what I want to do"?
My family happened. Okay. My family happened. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. They actually, some of them did work regular jobs and subsidize their work with their, or I should say, their entrepreneurship with their everyday jobs. But my mother's side of the family all served in a way in which they had people that lived in their home who had special needs, or what I call
Wow.
special requirements, their life's requirements, right?
Mm.
And I watched this growing up, and so I had a profound respect for the people who served in that capacity, but I also had a profound respect for people who had these special life requirements. And I always taught my children that we have to learn how to live with everyone in the world, and we have to learn how to embrace the differences and work with those differences in such a way that the unique contribution that others make and the unique contribution that you make when put together makes a better world.
Mm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 100%. I didn't mean to I want to get the baseline first before we get to the meat and potatoes of
Oh,
who you are
absolutely.
and things like that,
Absolutely.
because I think it adds to everything else that we're going to be talking about and things like that. And even with what the way Bubblegum explained it, um I like to understand where the passion comes and where the passion
Oh,
lies
yeah.
in
Yeah.
regards to things that you have contributed to the society and things like that. So as you were saying, you created schools
For children with special needs. And
okay.
interestingly enough, um I have to say this, that there were people who were in my family who learned very differently. It was my brother who really brought context to my life when he explained to me. He says, I'm not going to college. And I'm like, okay, but why not? He says, because that's just not for me. But this is the kid who actually started working also when he was in the 8th grade. And by the time he graduated high school, he had, as they would say, a bag. Okay. He was set up. I'm serious. I mean, he started his business, right out of high school. And he had a condo that he owned before, I was even, really, hadn't even graduated college yet by the time. And we were just a couple years apart, and he was already, purchasing properties and bought a truck or two, by the time I had graduated, and had started his business, and it was all the way down the street with it. Okay. So I'm saying that his ability to take what others called a disability and turn it into something that was amazing. The context that I want to bring to this is that the divergence that we see as, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or some of these other things that we call a disorder, is really not what we think it is. I call it the sentient mind. And so my experience in working with people in business, which is what I do now, and running, educational support services for business owners and inventors and product creators, in this space, I have come to understand that 90% of the people that I work with would have had a diagnosis.
Yeah. Okay, so we're already there. So we're already there. We're already in ADHD. All right, so good. Okay, so in doing this research and understanding what ADHD is, my it's the inability to conform, and that's
Well,
to a certain extent in certain
that is
settings.
a characteristic. It is a characteristic.
Yes.
The ability, and I don't call it an inability, I call it the ability to not get stuck in a pattern.
Yes. Okay.
That looks like everyone else's.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when we're talking about someone who has a sentient mind, someone who has the ability to respond to the sensory activities that are going on around them in a way that is so natural and so amazingly, I would say, perceptive. I mean, it's just, they have the concept of, okay, I hear music, I want to respond to that. I see other lights, I need to do something with it, and so these, if they're not positioned in which, and this happens a lot in public school, but if they're not positioned in a way that makes them shut down,
right,
and they are really given the opportunity to just live and learn the way that they learn,
yes,
you will find out that some of the people that are able to take those skill sets,
yes,
and utilize them effectively, create some of the most amazing companies. These are some of these tech startups that were,
hold on, mom. Hey, so let me just expand on what she's saying right now. Yo, those who don't have to be restricted to conform to a certain setting blossom. And let me just tell you, let me just name drop real quick. Michael Phelps, phenomenal swimmer. 8 times over gold medalist. Simone Biles, she busting people's head. Biles, yes. Right now, busting their head in gymnastics right now. Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein. These are the people that were diagnosed.
Tyrese Gibson, go ahead and throw it out there.
Tyrese Gibson. I mean, yo, these are the people in which we're speaking of that have been labeled to have a disorder or a disability or inability to function within a normal society, if you will, or
I mean, let's just put it this way. When we start going down this path and we look at industries, okay, because
yes.
and you're approaching it with name dropping. I want to just drop the industries,
Do your
okay,
thing.
where we find people that have been labeled with or that have been singled out because of the characteristics of that they exhibit. Okay.
Yes. Do your
All right.
thing.
So engineers. Okay.
Mm.
And I mean, I'm talking about, not just, electrical engineers, but we're talking about, people in IT, people who are in manufacturing,
Yes.
the 100% of these inventors, okay, that are actually showing up now, because we kind of talked about this a little bit before, how we have this gap, of inventors from people of African descent. We were, just about 95% of the inventors in America, between 1880 and 1932. Okay.
Mm.
Then all of a sudden, as we started working or being invited to work the factory jobs and get, into the more mainstream kind of work that was in America at the time. There was lots of, building of cars and all this automation that was going on to make America the great country that it became.
Yes.
A lot of our people who had the ability with these sentient minds to create things and to build things, they went dark. We didn't see a lot of the same kinds of inventions that we saw before. And so now we're back at a point in which, I mean, people are jumping out here with all types of things, from, not just people of African descent, but people of, all different types of descent, but who have some of the same characteristics that we say are disabilities. And given the opportunities to function and flow in, people are walking off their jobs, creating things that are making us more making our lives better, okay? Giving us the ability to move forward in ways that, we never had opportunities for before. So, I am saying that when we're looking at the concept of, these characteristics, we need to look at some of these industries. The music industry is not the only industry where we have people who have been diagnosed with, different types of disabilities, especially ADHD. We have people who are in accounting, okay, who have the ability to do some amazing calculations, people who are doing work with cryptocurrencies, okay, and making all the money over there because of the fact that they see things they see unrelated things that are seemingly unrelated, and they're able to bring them together and push out a concept, for a new coin, okay, that actually does well, and so I just want to just make sure that we understand, what happens when we allow people to just be and to learn the way they learn and to offer back up to the world from inside of themselves the things that we have looked at as, things that are not commonly known as abilities.
Yes, right. Bubblegum, I know you had a question, ma'am. Go right ahead.
I just wanted to give you your flowers now because there's not too many people that can eloquently speak so passionately about, you know, disabilities and how it affects people, like not only in the workforce but like how it kind of can, how the misperception of people can take their voice away, I guess, from the things that they do. And so I just really wanted to, like, if nobody's looking at you, if they didn't hear that part, rewind like 5 minutes and listen to what she's saying, because you have so many bright people that don't want to come out and show themselves and talk or just navigate the world because of the way that they're treated, because of something different, because of maybe like a stammer, or they walk different, or they look different. It's very isolating at times. So I mean, thank you for coming out and saying that. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I just wanted you to have your flowers. That's
Oh, thank you
really
so
nice.
much for that. You know, and but what she's saying is so true. I talk about this a lot in the context of, you know, when I'm working with business owners and how they need to be working with their teams, their staff, you know, noticing some of the things that, you know, give off the characteristics that a person is different than everyone else in the room, right? You know, and being able to pair those people with others, you know, within their organization, because of the brilliance that's there, you know, they will be able to round out your team. You won't only be serving, I mean, even if you're in retail, you're not going to only be selling to people who are in the mainstream. And so you need that other voice. You need to be able to have someone that has the ability to pick up things that you do not pick up. Let me share this for you, you know, with you, and I want to see what you think about this, and the people that are in the audience. Do you know that in Israel, they actually will put people who have learning differences in very special places within the government to help them, you know, see things that others cannot see. And I thought that that was such a powerful move for anyone to be able to, you know, understand the value that is in someone that learns and sees things from a different perspective.
Yes. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
So
I
hold
just
on, let's
thought it
back up though, because you were speaking on going to companies and things like that. So, um, you go to different people call you up from
oh,
different companies. Hold on, because
so
you think you go. Hold on, you
current.
ain't gonna just fly over that. Hold on. So,
Okay,
hold on. So people in these different companies who aren't doing so well in whatever they're supposed to be doing well in, call you up and to assess what they're doing as a whole, and you figure out
we
how to
do.
make them
We do
get.
that as well. But so we run a company called Red Worldwide. Red Worldwide is a nonprofit organization, and we are an educational support services company for businesses and aspiring business owners, for inventors, for people who are bringing products to market. We actually are partners with the University of Texas Arlington's TMAC program. It's Texas Manufacturing Assistance Center. And because people work with us, the Department of Commerce in the United States government gives money, you know, to help them get their products to market. Okay. So, you know, but they have to coach with us first. They don't get a chance to get to the money without having a coach. So I get an opportunity. I'm blessed to have the opportunity to work with many different people with all different kinds of ideas. My husband and I run this company together, and it's just an amazing, amazing opportunity. So we see lots of different kinds of people, the human capital that's flowing through these businesses. And I'm not just talking about businesses of people of color. I'm talking about all different kinds of people. I have people who are in business from different, they're now in America, but they are from China or from Vietnam or from Cambodia, people who are from the Philippines, people who are from Africa, from France, from Benin, okay, which is a part of Africa, Uganda, from Brazil, you know, Sao Paulo and Rio. I mean, we have people that we work with all over the world, and you know, and I will tell you that the narrative is the same all over the world. We approach learning differences like the person is broken and they need to be fixed.
Yes. Yes.
So
Got it.
generally, if I'm looking at your bottom line and I see there's an anomaly there, because I am a management accountant, so I have an MBA, and
Lord
you know,
Jesus, and you're a management accountant?
Okay, so in addition to the other stuff that I do, that part of me.
Where is your office? Because I think I need to come to your office here in a minute.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Thank
the
you so much.
Right.
yeah,
Flowers.
the office is in Texas, but we also have one here in California. But let me just say this, okay? The in looking at somebody's bottom line, I can just about tell when somebody's not treating their human capital well, when they're
Mm-hmm.
not investing in their people, when
Yes,
they don't
ma'am.
find value in the person, when they're not using they're not using the premise of people over profits or
Right.
people over projects, and
Yes.
everything
Yes.
else seems to take precedence over the human. When they do that, then I can almost tell you that, they've got a problem and the company's not going to be around very long. And so what I'm able to do is to go in and help them to understand, how can you reinvest into your people? How can you put back into them? How can you see what you got going on with the teams? And so when we start looking around, I'm almost invariably going to find someone with a learning difference, or a few people with learning differences that are just not performing as well as they could be, because they're not celebrated, they're just tolerated.
And it must be a glaring thing to see as soon as you step in there, because 9 times out of 10, a lot of these companies already have every resource known to man
Well, a lot of them have a
outside.
lot of money, not
Right.
necessarily a lot of resources, because they don't necessarily put the money back into the people. And so
Right.
that's the thing that, when we're thinking about this, we want to be training differently. We want to be, giving opportunities to the people within the companies, to be able to understand, to have the awareness of, what does it mean to work with all different kinds of minds, and
Yes,
how
ma'am.
can we, sharpen each other? How can we put everything that we have on the table so that we know what we have? What are the tools here?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
this is kind of the thought process. But, and when talking about the concept of ADHD, let's just talk about where it came from.
Go
So
ahead, Mom.
no problem. In 1902, George Steele is the person who actually came up with the concept and put it out there as a narrative that began the process of us seeing ADHD as a thing. you
Mm.
know uh and so when we start looking at the difference between what happened in 1902 and what happened by 1980, when inside of our school systems we had this abundance of money available to people who presented with certain characteristics, and of course it changed things tremendously,
Mm.
because we went from just having a diagnosis to now having money to fund lots of things within the school, as long as we had enough people to fill the seats in that particular classroom. Okay, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am, I
And
do.
so
Yes, ma'am, I do.
for I was just sitting there so excited about what Bubblegum was saying, because now things are a little bit different than they were when I was teaching school. Back then, we were encouraged to diagnose as many people as possible, to have as many and as many tests as we could push people through. You got 15 days to get them through, and then to get the IEP done, we got 30 days, and it was all on this time clock, so that we could see how many kids could be diagnosed within a certain period of time in a certain school districts, in certain areas of the school district, so that the funds could flow the way that they would like to have them flow in those schools.
Right.
Now, I do know that it costs more money to educate people who learn differently, because we have to have smaller class sizes. I get that. We have to have environments that make better sense. However, I do know that there was a big difference between what happened with children who were in certain zip code zones and what happened with children who were in other zip code zones, because I worked in several of those different zip code zones, and I was able to see it. I was able to see it. And when I saw it, it just made me wince, because I was like, okay, we're not going to be able to do much with this. What can we do with what we have to change this narrative, and how quickly can we get there? So some of the things that I did, I pulled my kids out of school. They were homeschooled, even though I was, now get this, I had special ed schools, but I had my kids at home. Okay.
Divine, you homeschooled?
She was. I mean, they did spend some time in school, and they had an opportunity to participate, but they also were at my school. And I don't know if she could go to the mic, but she could tell you,
If she can get
what it
off
was,
that mute button.
what it was like to be a part of, an ecosystem where when I had the special needs school, my personal children were being homeschooled at the time. So they got to go to school with me every day and be around other children who had special needs. And what that did for them, how that helped them to see things. And
Yeah, hold on, Mom, because I want to get this. I want to get this from Divine. Divine, ma'am,
Yes.
can you get on the box? Don't act like you brand new to the show, please.
I'm not. I got drift.
Well, drift hold.
My God.
So, ma'am, my question is, did you see a difference in regards to how you were being taught, vice from the way a lot of other people were being taught, public schools and
100%.
things like that? Yeah.
100%.
Do you feel that it add more value to who you are as a person in today?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, being a mother myself, my child experienced the public school system,
Mm-hmm.
and it did more damage than good. I ended up having to take her out of public school and put her in homeschool because of her experience being so poor. She was mistreated by the teachers. And this started from as early as kindergarten. Her kindergarten teacher told me that she was pulling her hair out, and my child would be more contained if she was on medication.
Wow.
And me being at the time, I was maybe in early 20s. My mom, I didn't feel comfortable, but I didn't have the wherewithal being a parent and having to work. I could not leave work and take care of her full time myself. So it was difficult, having to make that decision. And I put her on medication, and now we're managing all of those concerns are managed with food. All
Well,
of them.
man,
food is medicine, because I tell
Yeah.
you, that's a whole nother story.
It's-
But
so I wanted to touch on that just briefly, real quick, because for whatever reason, especially with ADHD and a lot of these quote unquote disabilities, the quick remedy is to dose them up with something.
Yeah.
Why is that such the quick fix for everything?
because it makes the child more docile, and it causes it. Okay, so this is the thing, and this is a huge philosophical argument, in education. Giving a child more medication seems to give them the ability to learn more. That's the prevailing thought. Okay, that's what the prevailing thought is. However, what it does is, and I shared this on a
hold on.
session.
CJ, I need you up here. I need this. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead. I'm listening. Yes, ma'am.
okay, so when the kids are on medication, some of the things that like I said, the prevailing thought is that they can learn better because now they can be better controlled. But when they're on medication, they're dulled, and they don't have the ability to or the capacity to receive more of this knowledge. So it was such a conundrum. You putting the child on Ritalin or lithium or some other drug, and then while they're on lithium and Ritalin, they're asleep half the day. And then when they finally do wake up, then it's like, how do we get them to, really take in the knowledge that we're trying, and engage with other students? And, how are we going to be able to really get them to have what it is that they're supposed to have? So my thought always, and of course I couldn't engage with parents because I wasn't allowed to tell the parents how I felt, when I was teaching school. I could lose my job for that.
Right.
So, I had to really be careful. And I was so glad to leave the school system. I mean, to leave, just the whole, construct, because I didn't have to now be concerned about that. And if a parent said, hey, I need your opinion, I mean, I came with facts. Okay. I came with statistics. I came with knowledge, and I came with, some places where they could go. Here this doctor, that doctor, see this person, see that person, because I wanted them to be able to make an informed decision, not just a decision based on the psychological evaluation that was done or the psychiatric evaluation that was done. I wanted them to be able to say, hey, I know my child. I am the child's first teacher. I'm the first person that they ever had access to. And based on that, I want to be able to weigh in on this decision, because it's very important. And so when it was suggested to me to put Javon on Ritalin at one point in time, she probably, could tell you that story. And I told them, absolutely not. I will never do it. Because I am, also an alternative practitioner, having been in the school.
If you say you are also something else one more time, yo.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you that the demand was placed on me. I had to go get some knowledge. Okay.
I heard that.
I had to go get another receipt. All right. So,
I heard
and so we really do teach in our family food is medicine. We grow, we have grown a lot of food in our home. We have grown food on tower gardens, and Javon was growing food for quite a while there at the house in Texas. And, my husband and I have become proponents of, removing all the white sugar because of the fact that we know how it affects our systems and what it does, and replacing it with monk fruit, replacing it with other things that matter. I mean, using dates. Dates are amazing. I mean, they do a lot of things for the brain as well as, helping us. Dates, Dates. Yes,
I will
sir.
be at Publix tomorrow and buying dates.
Yes, 2 to 3 a day. That's all you need. 2 or 3
yes,
a day.
ma'am. I got it.
I mean, a day. But
I'll be in
other
Publix
kinds of
tomorrow.
foods, nuts, okay, walnuts, Brazil nuts. I mean, brain health and, doing all the things that are necessary to put the food in your life that's going to create the environment inside the body so the body can operate in a way that makes you your best version of yourself every single day. And so when you're doing that, for someone who actually learns differently, when they learn how to manage certain things with food, oh my gosh, it changes things. It changes things.
Your son-in-law has something to say.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
So this I can attest to the Ritalin. I was born differently. So when we talk about the abilities and all of that, I was diagnosed the same. The thing about it is when the school district wanted my mother put me on Ritalin because my mind was all over the place. I was trying to explain to the teachers or whoever I was always there that my mind basically moves fast. Most of the time I slept during the class. That's because I done read almost all the stuff. It was uninteresting because I already knew the answer. I passed all my tests. I got high scores for any of the what's the task and all of that. I got high
the
scores
STAR test, all those different tests.
all them STAR tests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they could not figure. No, they did put me on Ritalin. I got on Ritalin, and it made me a zombie.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And we don't even talk about the unintended effects of Ritalin.
It has unintended effects. What happens is it made me a zombie, and I had missed the dose, and I went to a mirror, and I saw that I looked like a zombie, and from then on, I stopped taking it and had to act accordingly. So that's why, like, sometimes if people around, I tend to mimic because I read people. That's what I'm good at. But I also found out because of the ability I have, I'm able to do multiple things. Most people that have that's why this conversation is dear to me. I do it all from art. I do everything that deals with art. I learned everything, and I'm proficient in it. Music, I'm proficient in music. I've been doing music since I was 5. I done did that, and this is paid. There's a difference between a hobby person and a paid person. Paid person, this is what I do.
Yes.
photography to all
Professional,
of this. So
yes.
it's just professional. And I found out that most of the professionals have it. So what you saying that
Well,
it
they have
just
the
like touched that.
characteristics.
They got the
Right.
characteristics of it. So
Yes.
it was like, oh, she's talking about me. And I was like, I just I had one of those little moments.
Well, you know what? The
Appreciate
good,
you, CJ.
yeah, yeah. You know, I was gonna say the good thing about what you had to say there, son, is that when someone brings out this kind of information, it changes the game for people who have had the diagnoses, because now they're like, wait a minute, people have been looking at me like I'm the problem. Okay. And now I'm to find out that I'm the key person that helps to make things work a certain way, that I have the perspective that other people need. That my ability to adapt to different changing conditions, or for that matter, to have the ability to be aware of all these amazing things that are going on, is something that could be celebrated. Oh yeah, absolutely. I need to be, doing some things differently.
So here you go. So here we go. Oh, hold on. Go ahead, Devon. Go ahead, Devon.
I know it's about to get crazy. It's starting to get packed. So let me get my stuff out the way, okay? Because I don't have time. But one thing I can say, and what to piggyback, she did not put me on medication, but I remember, and Lord, I'm gonna keep my composure because this is tough. But first, I want to thank my mother because she always made me feel like I was normal. Having the interactions that I got to give her, I give her flyers daily, by the way, and I'm her biggest fan. There's not one bigger than me. Don't tell my siblings I said that because they're gonna try to fight me. But I just appreciate her allowing me to and helping me walk through it, because I didn't know anything was wrong. I didn't know that anything was wrong until, I got into regular school. So I was homeschooled and I was in school with my mom. So then I went to high school and I went to public school. And when I went to public school, my experience was really bad. I was treated differently. They, put me in special classes and things like that. And that was like the first time I experienced being singled out, because again, she made me feel comfortable. She made me feel like I was like everybody else. Again, she said that she put me around all of the people with the special needs, and I thought they were normal. So for me, there wasn't a difference between them and I, whether they had a difference or not. I didn't look at it that way because again, she didn't raise me to. So I always talk about this conversation, but when I was in high school, they brought me in. I think I was like, I want to say in the 10th grade, and they had my mom come, and then it was a round table, and they were talking about all the different things and barriers that I would have. They talked about how I wasn't going to be able to work. I wasn't going to be able to graduate from college, how I wasn't going to be able to be a productive citizen in this world. I was going to have to receive a check, and there was nothing that they could do about it. So I might as well just quit right now. When I sat across the table, I was in disbelief because they talked about me like I wasn't in the room, first of all.
Right. Yeah.
And second, I was like, what? Who is this person you talking about? Because I don't know who y'all is talking about. And you should not be talking about her like this. You know what I mean? So I sat across that table and listened to all of the different people weigh in on what they said I could not do. And my mom has never been that girl. She has never told me I could not do anything. Mm-hmm. Okay, never. It's never been you can't do it. I never heard her say it to me. So hearing somebody else, and CJ can attest to this, I'm not going to let you tell me I can't do something. That ain't happening.
We know that.
You're going to have to fight me because you can't say you can't do this. Ain't happening. So I fell to pieces. Like I broke down and I cried at that table.
How long is she going to talk?
You know what? And Howard behind me talking about how long am I going to talk? I'm almost done. I'm getting to my point. I promise.
I'm your dad. I know better.
I'm trying to ignore him so I can get past this.
Hey, for
Now,
those who don't know who Howard is, that's her dad.
he's awful.
I love it.
I love him, but like I was saying, it just was difficult to hear, especially being, I think at that time I was like 16.
On the box. On the box.
On the box, sorry.
There you go.
So, oh my God, I'm drifting so bad. Am I on the box still? Okay.
Yes.
So hearing that at 16 and not understanding it, immediately I disagreed. My mom is sitting at the table with me. They're talking about all these different action plans that they're going to do. But for me, setting obstacles in somebody's way and not giving them any results or any, resolution for that is crazy. But I said all of that to say that I have exceeded the expectation.
Oh, yeah.
Leaps and bounds.
Yes.
I've gotten college degrees. I have had children. I have worked several jobs. I worked in auto finance. I worked in finance. I'm really good at counting money. Okay, period. All of those things that they said I could not do, I have done them over and over and over and over again. So I just want to say thank you for always giving me those resolutions, always giving that positive reinforcement, talking me off the ledge, letting me know that I can exceed those expectations because you single-handedly walked me through all of this. And I just appreciate you. And I just love you.
Oh, ain't that
Oh my gosh. Now she's going to bring me to another place.
Oh,
That's something I wasn't planning on having to deal with in this. But I'll just say this, I although I know it hurt her.
Andrew, don't go nowhere. 'Cause I got a question for you too. Don't. I don't know how you get on that box all the time, but don't go nowhere. Go ahead, man. I'm listening.
I think that having the experience of being a part of that IEP meeting, or what they now call the 504 plan meeting, I think it was important because she needed to understand, what it was like in the real world, but the other side of that is, as soon as we got out of the meeting, I said, we do understand that these people have no idea what they're talking about when they're talking about you. That is just the way that it is viewed. I need you to understand that, because this is how the world sees disabilities. And I am saying to you that what it is that you have is valuable. It's not a disability. It is an ability. It's a superpower, and you need to learn how to work it like a part-time job, as my husband would say, with no benefits. Okay. Or with benefits, sorry.
Possibly dropping Jews. I got you.
Okay. Now, what I will also tell you is that I have another daughter who is equally as amazing, we found out when she was in the second grade that she had a diagnosis, and her diagnosis was that she had auditory, processing disorder.
Yes.
And which presents a lot like dyslexia, but it's not the same thing. And as a result of that, it took her a long time to learn how to read. There were things that she was hearing the information in, but she couldn't process the information the way other people did. So she had to work 3 times as hard, to get the information out. And even with that, she still graduates with honors. Okay. She still had, matter of fact, not only did she graduate with honors, but in high school, she pulled off something that the vice principal of her school said he wished that he had 900 more of her, because what she did is that the teachers were not teaching her in a way that was bringing her to the ability to learn the material. So what she did was she went home and she prepared for them documents. She got with permission, she used our printer and printed out all of these packets to give to every one of her teachers to teach them how to teach her. Okay. Wow. Which was something that was absolutely amazing. And let me tell you what happened. The teachers they were totally floored. She, in her document that she gave to them, she explained to them what it feels like to be a person that learns the way she learns in a classroom of people who do not know how to control the behaviors in the classroom. She also talked about what it feels like for people to put her in a space that is inappropriate for someone who has this problem in processing information, and they can't decipher from the noise outside of themselves and the noise inside of themselves. And it was just something that was such a powerful, powerful thing that happened. Those teachers were so amazed. They were like, when I went to the parent teacher conference day where they kind of talked to you about what's going on with your child, every one of them had the same response. They're like, wow, I just didn't know, nobody taught us this. We didn't get this in college. No one explained to us how other people, see it, and so thank you for allowing her to do that for us. And so I mean, I just have to say that because, and like I said, she's equally as amazing. She works in HR at a college right now, and she's in school getting a degree in marketing, and she's just this the person who you want to have when you need to have somebody in your space that is knowledgeable about these types of things.
Yes, Bubblegum.
I was just going to add on, that is like everything that you're saying. I don't know if you can see my hands. I'm back there going crazy because I'm like, yes. But they were supposed to, that IEP teacher or whatever, that person was supposed to give her teachers like a copy of that IEP and what they need specifically. But it's so good to hear that a student actually printed it out and presented it that way. And I just want, if you could just tell your daughter I said that she's amazing for that. Like, that is absolutely like chef's kiss. Even though that shouldn't have been her job, the fact that she came prepared was absolutely beautiful. But
well, and let me just say this, and it's not the same in every state. A lot of people don't know this. Like in California, we have certain kinds of things that are available to us here. In Texas, they don't have special day schools, smaller classrooms. They only have modifications and accommodations. That's it, and so you can go to the special room where you can get some more assistance, but for the most part it's not the same everywhere, and so because we have no uniformity and there's no customization or personalization, in learning learning plans. They say that there is, but really it's, they just pull from a set of rubrics and say, okay, we're going to give these kinds of kids this, and we'll give these kinds of kids this. So I'm saying that we really need to be thinking about, and even when we have our make accommodations for people at work, we don't really make accommodations. What we do is we, again, tolerate, and that's not the way, okay, to really embrace.
So to that point, so I'm going to get very personal right now. So I have a nephew who's 6 years old. His name is London. I literally left California to come to Georgia to help raise him with my mother. He's been diagnosed with a lot of the things that I've heard you guys echo with the auditory. Say that word again, auditory
processing disorder.
That disorder, along with ADHD as well. He's being homeschooled right now, but he's going to start going to a Catholic private school. Now, this young man speaks in a manner like he's been here before. Like the way he articulates himself is like no 6-year-old or you've seen. He can remember anything, anywhere he's been. He can probably give you the directions on how to get there. But somehow he has these labels on him that tell him that he doesn't respond normally, if you will. I am trying my best to create a balance in regards to conforming him to a certain extent into what I know he's going to experience in this Catholic school, and to him still being his genuine self. And I really find it hard to do sometimes. So when you face, I don't know, I'm almost positive you were faced with that with your kids as well.
Oh, absolutely.
How did you, what the hell is the balance? Or how do you tell them, no, you're unique and you better be who you are as this person, but understand when you get to certain situations, you have to conform to a certain way because they're going to label you a different way and probably restrict you based on who you really are as a person.
So you have to tell them, in a way that, of course, speak the language of his age. Okay, you need to do that because that's going to be important, and you don't want people to, you know, I, you don't want people to label your child,
Or outcast
as
them. Yes, ma'am.
right, for them being nonconformist. But I have one. Once I told her how things really worked, and she went to school and she let them know she knew how the things really worked. She was that kid. Seriously, she was that kid. I mean,
Okay.
she didn't ever get expelled or suspended, but she was really clear. And because she was so clear, the teachers backed up off of her, and so did the people in the office. Okay, because it's important for them to understand how the system works, and you just got to explain it to them. You
Yes.
cannot not tell high functioning children who learn differently that things are going to be okay when you're not sure yourself. So you have to
100%.
explain to them that the system may be broken. We don't know for sure.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
that this is how it's supposed to work. But if it's not working that way, please do not engage. What I need you to do is to just take notes,
Yes.
put it all in your journal, come home, let me know what's going on, and then let me be your advocate, or let me get you an advocate to work on your behalf to get what the system has said that you're supposed to have. That is extremely important. And
Yes,
I did
ma'am.
it with every one of the children I have. I have kids who are, for different reasons, not because they learned differently because I taught differently. And a lot of them were, all of the kids that were in the house with me growing up, while I'm working my job, they got an opportunity to experience homeschool. So
Right.
they had a different kind of experience. And I mean, I had one child told me, I don't want to go back to school unless you're coming to my school and teach me. Because the person is there, they don't care. They just keep giving us papers,
Right.
to
Right.
fill out
Busy
every
work.
day.
Right.
Busy
Right.
work. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah.
Yes, Jen, you on mute.
Me. I have a question. This is kind of going off a little on the rails. You mentioned 1902, um, the
George Steele.
diagnosis, and 1980, where you saw a lot of cases of diagnosis of this. Do you think it's something in our food that's making our kids this way, or?
Oh, I absolutely think that there's a lot of things in our food that it doesn't make the kids this way. I think the kids, the children are born with what they're born with in terms of their abilities. However, I believe that that food and all the other stuff that we call food that may not be food, okay? And I want to be real clear about that, because there are a lot of things that we put in our bodies that are just not food. And the body responds to it as something that's not supposed to be there. And so children, are the biggest uh, indicators of something like that. You're giving them chips and things that are made from stuff that has a nutritional value as styrofoam, okay? And then and we give them things to eat for breakfast that their bodies can't process, and so by the time it's time for them to eliminate, they don't have the fiber and everything that they need to do so. They're not getting real fruit, they're getting fruit snacks that's made of stuff that shouldn't even be in our body a lot of times. And so when you're looking at all of these things and seeing its impact on the learning, I absolutely believe that it's having an impact, Jen. And I do believe that it exacerbates what may already have been known or characterized in the child's behavior. It just makes it worse when they are already having issues, and especially if they don't have choices to eat better. If they're in a food desert, or the parents, just don't have the money, to provide better food options, it can become a real bad situation. So yes, I do agree with you. I believe that somewhere in between the 1900s and 1980, we had a lot of stuff that happened, and it changed a lot for us.
I feel so bad now. I had 2 champ burgers with cheese today from Checkers. We're gonna let that go. Howard, what's happening, man?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing well, sir.
Well, first of all, this is my lovely wife that's up there,
Yes, sir.
speaking all of this wonderful knowledge to you guys. And I wanted to just take an opportunity to say something. If my daughter back there would be quiet,
That looks so adorable. Oh my gosh. I love the outfit.
no, but seriously, whenever they finish, then well, no, okay. No, I wanted to take the opportunity to just say something and speak to this because my wife and I've been married for, I've been saying 15 is actually 14 years, so forgive me for the miscalculation, but it feels like 15.
Right. When it's right, yeah, you forget.
Yeah, but and Javon and all the girls that I've had the opportunity to actually live with and help to raise, have a part in, seeing them grow up and everything. First of all, these are my daughters. I don't do the step thing.
I
We
heard
may
that.
not
Can you say that
necessarily.
again, sir?
I said I don't do the step thing.
Damn
We
right.
we may not necessarily share blood, but I feel like we do, and I treat them as though we do.
As you
And
should. Yes, sir.
no matter what their regard to me, they're my daughters, and I love them dearly. But I've had the opportunity to see firsthand uh, the situations that my wife and Javon referenced in dealing with more specifically Javon and our other daughter that my wife was referencing a moment ago, who has CAPD. Um, it was very, very new to me. And as a parent and someone not knowing and understanding what that was, it took me a long time to really stomach that and understand that it was a real issue. When I would think in my mind, oh no, I know she know better and she understanding what I'm saying, and she's doing this on purpose and all. I mean, I went through it all,
Right.
but part of my heart and my plight for even being up here to speak to this in support of my wife and my daughters is to all the other parents and especially fathers that are out there that may be dealing with a child that is unique. I don't even
Yes.
like to say special needs or call them special. They're just unique in their own right, not even
Yes.
different. We're all different. We all do different things. We look different. We talk different.
Yes.
Even if we grew up in the same household, there's something in us that still makes us different in that respect. So not different like we're separated from, the rest of the world, but
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say to the parents, and again, especially the fathers, to really put forth the effort mentally, emotionally,
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
be there for your children and to understand what this is that's going on with them. They didn't ask for this. Whatever it is that they're dealing with, and however
Say it
unique they
again for the
are,
people in the back.
they did not ask for this. They didn't come here and say, well, you know what, I'd like to be a special needs child
Right,
with
right.
disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
They came the way that they came, and it's our job and responsibility as parents to love them into their uniqueness, not
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
not love them just because they're unique,
Mm.
but love them into it and do everything that is within our power to support them, to be there for them, to understand their uniqueness,
Mhm.
and and if need be, ready to defend it
Right.
at the same time.
Yes,
So
sir.
I just wanted to take the opportunity to say that. Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much, love. That was beautiful.
Uh,
Yeah.
we ain't got to touch on nothing else. I think he wrapped it up very eloquently, sir. Thank
My
Yes.
you.
goodness.
Yeah.
Um, man, I look. I'm appreciative for everybody coming through and sharing the knowledge that they share within this show. Um, I wish more people would take an ear to what happens within this space. because I know there are so many more people who can utilize the information to better themselves as people and as parents. But regardless of the fact, I'm glad we're here and we're having these dialogues and we're having these discussions because they are definitely needed.
Yes.
So Miss Bubblegum Planet, I want to say thank you so much for offering your information and giving wisdom to a topic that we often don't speak on in the manner and so directly in regards to in the manner that we did today. I appreciate that. Doctor, patient, Rose, ma'am. It was everything I expected it to be. Thank you. You threw a curveball at me initially when the start of the show. I had to audible, if you will, and come at it at a different angle, but it came out exactly the way I expected it to be. Thank you so much for sharing so much information.
Can I say something, Burden?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
I have written a book on this. It's called the ADHD.
Tell them.
ADHD Conspiracy, okay, debunking the myth and celebrating the sentient mind. And I really would love for people to have access to that, and so for the people who are in the room,
Divine, I need a book, cuz.
But
I got the source right here.
Go ahead, man. This book's ain't free, so they are on Amazon.
Actually, they're not on Amazon. They're not on Amazon. No. We have that's a whole nother show. We pulled all of our books off of Amazon. Okay, we have our own platform. That's right.
Boy, let me tell you, if she need it, she'll create it.
That's right. So actually, my husband was the one that really pushed that train all the way down the track. So I have only one book left on Amazon, and that's Getting a God Result. But this particular book, the ADHD Conspiracy, you can get by going to patiencerose.com/books, and you can get it right there. It's in my little bookstore. So along with some of the other books that I've written, and so I really want to make sure that people who are in the room, if there's a way, I don't know how they do that, but if they have connected with me and they send me some information, I want to give you a coupon because I want you to be able to make sure you have that book. So please, and we have the ebook version, but we also have the hardcover and the soft cover, the paperback, and shortly there will be an audiobook available as well, so that you have access.
I need that. Yes, Jen. Sir. You know you on mute, right?
How do you get an autograph copy?
Oh, well, you know what? Just say less. Say less. But give me your information and we'll get you an autograph copy. That's how that happens.
Yo, let me tell you something. Divine, if mine ain't autographed, sister, you know what? We're not going to go there. Okay, for those who may have more information or questions that they would like to direct to you, please let them know how they can get in contact with you.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so I'm Instagram is Results Are Irrefutable. They can reach out to me and DM me there. I'm also available, at for email. You can send it to patiencerose@me.com. patiencerose@me.com. They can also go to the website, patiencerose.com, and, reach out to me there because I have, way that people can, become a part of the community and reach out to me in that particular ecosystem. I'm on Facebook. I'm on X, and I hear that I'm on TikTok. I just don't know how to get in there, but I'm in a few places. LinkedIn though, for sure. LinkedIn, connect with me there, and you can DM me there, and I can make sure that you can get the coupons for the books.
Move over.
Lord, look at these, they fighting. Look,
oh Lord,
fighting right now. Make sure y'all go to Red Worldwide Instagram. It's
we are Red Worldwide on Instagram.
Yes, ma'am. We are Red Worldwide on Instagram.
On YouTube. Tune in to co-working 5 days a week on Lux Vision Studios podcast. And it's 5 days a week.
Howard,
It's
get your daughter.
two
Howard, get your
days,
daughter.
2 days a week. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern. No, for real. Y'all need to tap in. Do not miss it. Do not miss
so
it.
much
It's so much good information. So much good information. I'm for real. Shameless plug for my mama though.
Hey, it's not shameless at all. Nothing at all. Thank
If
you.
you're a business owner, you need to watch.
It's free.
Do that.
And it's free.
Yeah, it's free. So, let me just say this, redworldwide.org, for anybody in the room that's a business owner. Right now, I've got 3 ebooks that are there. I didn't write these. These are my mentor's books that he wrote. But they're amazing books that you can go and grab right now. If you would like to have a copy of one of my books, it's not going to be autographs, but we give away a few of the books that my husband and I have authored. He's written 40, I've written 10. So we've got quite a bit of knowledge that we drop, and
I would say so.
Okay. And so we want you to have access to it. One of the best books that I have right now that you need to have, your business owner, is called Fluency in Finance. And anybody that's in the room that needs to be a part of the conversation, because money is a language. And, most people have a problem with money, but the real problem that they have is with fluency. They don't speak the language of money well enough to participate in the wealth system. So we want to give you that. We want to make sure you have that book for free. So you can get a few things for free if you just go onto the website. Okay.
I really want to be a gatekeeper.
Out.
I really want to be a gatekeeper and don't even put that on a clip on Instagram. But you know what? I'm not even going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But Andrew here. So you heard that. Yo, again, thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate all the information that was shared. I have a lot of resources that I can definitely give back to my nephew now and understanding him even better and how to approach certain things. And I can't wait to get to him, and so I can hold that young man and let him know how special and unique he is as a person, and for him to blossom. I can't wait to go grab him tomorrow. So thank you guys again for coming through and speaking so much wisdom, man. I appreciate it.
You are so welcome.
Before we get out of here, though, I wanted to ask a question to the monetized people. I don't know if they're going to answer this question or not, but there's a couple of monetized people in here right now. Andrew, don't go nowhere, boy. Don't go nowhere. Horizon gave us quite a price cut. Do you guys find it harder to meet the mark that you guys were meeting?
I don't care if they listen or not. It's bullshit.
Oh, okay. Got you. Just want to make sure. I just wanted to make sure we was all on the same page.
Get him. Somebody get him. Jesus Christ.
Bubblegum too? Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't losing my mind. For those who don't understand,
for people in the back, bullshit.
Hey, we got pastors in here, man.
I'm sorry, bull jabber. Cut that out. Cut that out. Cut that out the film.
Oh, I love it. Oh, so again, thank you guys for coming through. I just want to say you have a phenomenal family. You have a phenomenal daughter. You have a phenomenal son-in-law. And I appreciate what they've done for me in regards to giving me a higher ceiling to reach in regards to what I produce within this space. It's definitely a collaborative effort, and I appreciate them and everything that they've done for me, and I hope I'm doing my part. So again, thank you, man.
Absolutely. Yes.
So Lux Vision Studios, as always, make sure y'all go subscribe to the channel, and look forward to greater things and greater conversations within this space. I'm Burdenofproof. This has been After Q. Speak your truth, and we're gone.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Teray.
CJ Shotlow. It's your boy Westside.
And you chilling with the Breaking Bread podcast. Hey, tune in and check us out every Saturday for some good talk.
You already know.
Good
The
conversation.
realest talks. You hear me?
Yeah, tune in.
Breaking bread.
Breaking Bad.
Awesome. God bless everybody. I'm so glad, amen, that everything is finding you well, and I pray it's finding you well. This is Pastor Johnny live from our sanctuary here in the Metaverse at Word of Grace Meta Church. I want to invite you out to our service here on Sunday nights for worship and the word, now streaming through Lux Vision Studios. So excited about that and what God is doing in this space and place. See you Sunday. God bless you.
Yo, what's good? What's good? It's your boy HG. I was 702. Let's get tripping like a kid, untie shoes. And you see the vibe and you see the move. Where I'm at, that's the Howard Hour Live to be exact. And you can catch me live on Lux Vision Studios to be exact. So make sure you tune in every Friday night, 11 Central, 12 Eastern, and 9 Pacific. And you know, everybody's a somebody. Catch me live on Lux Vision Studio.
What's up, y'all? It's MetaClean, and listen, please join me every Tuesday at 10 p.m. for Meta Talks Live. And the awesome thing is, you don't have to leave your house to do it. Meta Talks Live, coming back soon.
Hi, I'm Jen Snatch, and I'm here at VIP Entrepreneur Academy, where this is a world that you can learn how to start a business. For all you entrepreneurs who want to learn how to start a business, this is the ideal place to learn in the metaverse. This is a 9-week course where we go ahead and dissect every section of a business, from understanding your customer and industry to creating your budget for payroll and even taxes. We break down what is the requirements for you to have a successful business. So if you're ready to become an entrepreneur and want to learn the ropes, VIP Entrepreneur is ready to take in new students just like you. You can contact me at VIPEntrepreneur Academy@gmail.com. See you at the next class.